at the Retail Nomad, kickstarting this week's tour here in New Orleans, Louisiana. You see right there? It says Mardi Gras. I'm inside of what's called Mardi Gras World. That's right. Let's jump in here and see how they build these floats, these characters, these themed events for Mardi Gras, as it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that relates to the costumes, the beads, the floats, the artistry work, the craftsmanship, the materials. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Mardi Gras World, the Retail Nomad, here in New Orleans, the Big Easy, Louisiana. Let's jump in here, check it out this week.
The Retail Nomad, traveling the globe, sharing what the retail environment is like, hidden corners of the world.
And here you see Mardi Gras World. This place is massive. The signs all over town, located right near the port district where the cruise ships come in. And here you see these two huge statues, and I wanted to show you in reference next to a FedEx truck how tall these things are. And then just rotating around, you get to see Mardi Gras World, Blaine Kern. That's right, this family's been involved in this industry for years. And immediately up on entry, you get to see the gift shop and also the ticket sales counter to check yourself in for the actual daily tours that they give, showcasing how they manufacture, produce, and make all of these outfits and floats and so forth. Let's dance inside here. And before kickstarting the tour, I just want to kind of cruise around here through the gift shop, as they've got everything from mementos and postcards and little tchotchkes and gifts for family and friends and so forth back home, to costumes, to the Mardi Gras, the masks, and the little shirts and voodoo and storyteller type of memorabilia. And it's very interesting combination of product, costume, jewelry, obviously some beads, and then out back, literally you've got the Mississippi River out back, and that's where the cruise ships come in here. And they literally were in a huge building right next to the port terminal here in New Orleans. So love this layout. And one fun fact that I learned here in the gift shop is that over 15 million tourists visit New Orleans every year. Just all the retail sales and services that are intertwined with this tourism market. And just giving a little backstory on Mardi Gras World, this is one of the more old school, one of the largest producers of everything from the Mardi Gras floats to the parade statues, the silhouettes, these little icons and statues, if you will. Half look like a half Disney character meets Barnum and Bailey. Some of these figurines you are familiar, and the other ones it's just a general male or female or an animal. But everything from the Mad Hatter to some jesters and so forth. But they keep the old units in inventory, and they'll retheme them year over year, what we learned on this tour. And as part of the tour, they did a fantastic job of describing how they manufacture and produce these props, these characters, these silhouettes, new and from scratch. And then they also use some of the older elements that they have in inventory. Once they define a parade theme, they'll bring them out and repaint them, if you will. See this artist, very detailed on the attention to detail for the characters that they're producing. And they also do corporate entities. You'll see the Super Bowl, the NCAA, the New Orleans Saints, and so forth. I understand they do the cow that's seen on Chick-fil-A. And looking into this room, and I apologize, but the glass window is somewhat dirty, but I did want to show this, is they literally have a very high-end, it's called CNC, computerized numerically controlled, robotic machine that produces and cuts through the styrofoam for the intricate pieces and so forth to create these very unique shapes, sizes, and and elements that are required for some of these, statues and characters. Very cool to see this, and they had mounds of styrofoam shavings that you can see in here. So they've invested heavily in the equipment and production capabilities to produce some of these display pieces and props. And here we are looking at the interior of one of the floats with a bathroom. Take note that they're on there for hours, they indicated. But they throw out hundreds of thousands of beads from these floats, which creates and generates literally multi-billion dollars in retail sales. I love their call out. And what you'll see here is the original King Kong and Queen Kong. And these were produced over 50 years ago. Some of the original produced pieces from the original team. And it's so old school, they were describing in the methods, but they've held up fairly well for being over 50 years old, manufactured out of some kind of paper mache or plaster, if you will. But I was blown away by the quality and the condition, how they manufacture and produce these pieces, which again produces huge sales in costumes, jewelry, and retail. And check out this sweet NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana sign with the staple fleur de lis, which do yourself a favor and Google this. It was very interesting what I learned with the history of this icon and shape here, but blown away by how they produce these floats and the characters and so forth. And obviously, if you don't like clowns or Barnum and Bailey, some of this stuff might be a little trippy for you. But I was blown away by this multi-billion-dollar industry that I was not aware of what takes place behind the scenes in order to produce, create, and design and store and inventory these props. And just you can see the attention to detail is this Roman float with the theme. I mean, the chariot, the horse, the Colosseum, or the Parthenon. I just so cool to see the design, the artistry, if you will. And then looking over at the Super Bowl trophy. And here you can see how diverse these characters are. I think that's General Patton there, I believe. And then rolling over again to look at the size of the Super Bowl trophy, the NCAA national champion. And then, I mean, just the connectivity to the NFL, to the collegiate college teams. And obviously being here in New Orleans, there's probably more, obviously, connectivity to LSU and the New Orleans Saints. And Marianne, you got to love that, right? I tell you. But again, it's so cool to see how they produce, manufacture, and store these things and maybe use them on year. Very cool. And as I'm preparing to wrap up this tour, just wanted to show you, the Mardi Gras World, entrance and gift shop here, and all these characters. Can't remember half these character names, but I found it very intriguing and very cool to conduct this tour here today. And here I wanted to step outside and again show you the size of this building where they can get all these floats and tractors and parade equipment outdoors. This place is massive.
Thanks much for tagging along here this week. You see there, it says Mardi Gras World. That's right, you got the Retail Nomad in New Orleans, Louisiana, the Big Easy, and we danced inside here and seen how they build these floats, these costumes, these creatures, and then also some corporate entities as well. I understand that they do the cow for Chick-fil-A, they do the NCAA, the Super Bowl, a lot of the collegiate college teams from here in this region, some playered sculptures, as well as some theme titled and trophy at events. Mardi Gras World, the Retail Nomad, New Orleans, the Big Easy. Thanks much, folks.
Stay tuned to the Retail Nomad, as each week we'll be profiling different types of shopping experiences around the world. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.